This is Super Sam Dubé with a mouthful of hot dog coming to you live from Perth, Ontario, Canada, where we're holding the second day of the world's strongest disabled men and women in conjunction with the amateur Ontario Provincial Strongman and Strongwoman Championships. This is June 18th, 2022. We're in beautiful Perth, Ontario, Canada, as I mentioned to you before. It's now sunny. It was actually 11 degrees Celsius not long ago, as you can see. But the sun's decided to come out. No more tornado warnings, so we're good. We're moving on to the third event of the day. We'll be dealing with the disabled athletes first, and those athletes will be participating in the shoulder, sandbag to shoulder. As I mentioned to you before, we have 4 classes for our disabled athletes, seated class 1 and 2 and standing class 1 and 2. So you'll notice that we have an incline bench for the seated classes. Seated class 1 are those athletes who have use of their upper body, but their lower body has dysfunction and often complete lack of function. Seated class 2 has use of their upper limbs, but there is a challenge that has some indirect or direct neurological effects, such as cerebral palsy, where the body doesn't respond typically to exercise. So, for instance, a lack of hypertrophy and such. So the seated classes will be strapped into the incline bench. They'll have to move the sack to the shoulder and hold it there with one hand. The standing classes will be shouldering the sacks from the ground, and I will have the weights for you momentarily. After that, we'll have the third event of the day for the Amateur Ontario Provincial Strongman and Strongwoman Championships, presented to you by Strongman Corporation Canada in the people of Max Boudreau and Samantha Béliveau, both of them world-class strength athletes here to promote the show and to give back to the sport. So they will be having the Farmer's Walk, which is a classic strongman, strongwoman event, carrying 2 implements suitcase style for speed, unlimited drops in 60 seconds. So I'll get back to you in a moment. I'm just going to check to make sure that we're ready to get going. Our head referee is none other than 4-time world's strongest man and legendary, shall we say, modern-day strength legend, Magnus Ver Magnusson. So he's here with his Icelandic crew, and it was actually very funny. We needed to add weight to the Wagoners provided by Town & Country Chrysler Smith Falls for the arm-over-arm pull. We had to add weight to the 3,000-kilogram Wagoners, and the Icelandic team just got into the wagon, adding another 500 kilograms to the tonnage involved. So if you're just joining us now, welcome. And we've got 1 more event for the world's strongest disabled men and women, and we've got 3 more events for the Amateur Ontario Provincial Championships here. I'm Super Sam Dubé, veteran of the Canadian Strength Athletes Series and sports analyst for the 2 greatest strongman shows of their time, Fortissimus 2008 and 2009. I'm also a professional strength coach, and it is my honor and my passion to be here for you, delivering you the news from Perth, Ontario, Canada. So stay tuned. We will be right back with our third event of the day.
Ready, I'll be rolling.
Okay, so we got Alfie Wright on the right of your screen in the seated division for women from Great Britain, and we've got Rebecca Slater on the left, shouldering the implement. You can see at 24 kilograms. That's about 50, just near 55 pounds. And Alfie's been successful with her first 2, and the last one that looks like that's about 80 pounds. That rogue sack. I'll have to check that. 100 pounds? 100 pounds. Thank you very much, Haley. 32 kilograms for Rebecca, also from the UK. She's got to pull it to her shoulder and show control on one shoulder. Beautiful. So the big one, the Rogue Sack, is 100 pounds. And you can see how difficult it is to maneuver with one arm. She's lapping it. Now, the seated athletes have to lap when they're sitting on the incline bench. They have to lap. The standing athletes do not, but you can see the technique that Rebecca here is using. She's kneeling and lapping, and now she's going to try to rise while bracing onto her leg. There we go. And she's on her dominant side, and she needs to stand and flip it to her shoulder as quickly with as much momentum as possible. Watch this. She's got to heave this. Oh, this is difficult. This is extraordinarily difficult here. Great attempt. Remember, 60-second time limit. And Alfie Wright giving her countrywoman a nice hug. We have a huge presence here from the United Kingdom, including Scotland. And Haley, who I was talking to her a moment ago, you can see her in the background here with her backpack. She's now waving to the camera. She is from South Wales. She's not only active in strength athletics, but in motorcycling as well, which she credits to helping really improve her life, strength athletics and motorcycling. So each of these athletes here in the disabled contest have different challenges. And we have 4 categories, as I mentioned to you in the past. And we do our best to provide a level playing field for these athletes so they can be competitive. And is it a perfect system? It's not a perfect system, but we're working on it. And the athletes have been predetermined. We've predetermined which classes that they belong to. And we do our very best to make it fair for everyone so that they can be competitive and that there's no huge advantage for anyone in particular. After all, that's what competition is about, you know, level playing field, and then the best should prevail. Also, we don't want anyone getting injured here. This is all done in the spirit of fun and competition and self-improvement. And so it's with great pride and honor that I announce the show for you here today, live from Perth, Ontario, Canada, June 18th, 2022. Now it's sunny, very windy, but the weather could be worse, as we here near the nation's capital of Ottawa will tell you from a few weeks ago when we had blackouts for almost 2 weeks and tornado force winds ripping up trees like the one you see in the background of your screen right now. There were trees that survived over 100 years that did not survive the storm we had a few weeks ago. Peter Lynette is up next, representing the United Kingdom, a veteran of strength athletics himself. He is in the seated class 2. And so again, the goal, I'm just going to get the weights for you. Okay, so 28, 32, 45, and 70 kilos respectively in that order. Again, it's like a rising weight event. They have to lap it if they're seated. They're strapped into place. They have to lap the weight. So 28 kilograms first, followed by 32, followed by 45, roughly 100 pounds, and then followed by 70 kilos.
Then just look at me, right? I'm refereeing you from here. You got it? Okay.
And Marshall took my seat.
Hey, you ready? You hear okay?
So Pete Lynette is ready and waiting. 60-second time limit. Lap. And to the shoulder. Down. There you go. And Haley Church competing on the other side. Standing. She's already on her 32-kilogram weight. 24, 28, 32 for the women. And then 45 kilos. 32 kilos successful for Pete Lynette. Haley's almost got the clean here. Pete's rolling it up his shoulder. Wow, they both get a 100-pound weight. Pete's got 70. Oh, he's eyes go wide. 70 kilos, 154 pounds, I believe.
You sit. I'm just doing backup time. No, no, are you? Yeah, eventually want to sit back.
Thank you, Marshall.
Who's next?
All right, who is up next?
Got him next.
Here at the World's Strongest Disabled Man and Women Contest, we've got Gary Clark. Here comes Gary Clark from Great Britain. Hey, look who's here. Tony Vandenberg. Tony, come over here for a second. Tony, give us a word. Tony organized the contest along with Magnus Ver Magnusson. No, I'm not letting him get away. Come here. Oh, Tony is a very humble man, and I will catch him later. So Gary Clark is up next. Gary Clark founded Britain's Strongest Disabled Man and Women Contest back in 2015. I want to thank all of our assistants, our roadies, our tech crew here. You can see that they're the ones that have to organize the weights. And they're going to be sore tomorrow. Okay? They're going to be very sore tomorrow. Trust me, I know. And without them, the contest could not run.
Hey, Mike Deal, where are you from? Canada.
Woo! I don't know if you guys heard that. Tony Vandenberg says, Mike Deal, where are you from? He says, the greatest country on earth, America. He goes, Canada. Mike Deal's from the U.S.
When in Rome, Mike, when in Rome.
All right, Mike Deal.
Come on, Mike.
You can see he's got a harness on his right shoulder to compensate for the lack of a right arm. He lost that in an accident while a fireman.
Remember to laugh at first.
First thing I said. No, that's okay. I have no ego when it comes. You tell me whatever you want me to. No problem there. Okay. Oh, that's a challenge for tonight.
I just got challenged to a beer chugging contest from one of Canada's strongest women. We go back. She's upset that she lost a beer challenge to me in the past.
I got that live now.
Good.
Stephanie lost a beer challenge to me in the past. Here comes Gary Clark and Mike Deal. Gary in a seated class 2. Easy shouldering for Mike Deal to the left of your screen. We've got 28 kilograms up. He's got to show control. There, he's got it. 28 kilos for Gary. We've got 28 kilos up for Mike Deal. Mike's moving right to the 32. So,
Get this done.
there, 32. Easily for Mike Deal.
Let's go, Gary.
The blue bag, 99 pounds, 45 kilograms. Gary working hard to move that 32 kilogram sack from his lap to his left shoulder. Frustration, unable to complete the course. What an effort there by Gary Clark. Big proponent of disabled strength athletics in Great Britain. We're lucky to have him here. Now Mike grabbing, using the harness to wrap around the 45 kilogram rogue sack, and he's going to try to launch it. Oh, loses it. He's going to try again. You can see the shoulder harness he's using there. He's gripping the hook with his left hand, and now he's going to try to stabilize his body and launch it to his shoulder. There you go! Wow! Wow! Perfect technique on that, and he gets it up. 100 pounds to the shoulder from the ground. Beautiful lift there by Mike Deal of the USA. What an effort. You saw that here, live at the World's Strongest Disabled Man and Women Contest. That was incredible.
One arm, man.
Yeah, beautiful timing.
Bag up there. That's just unbelievable.
That was beautiful timing on that. Yeah, in balance. Up next is Thomas Kwaznaza. Thomas, unfortunately, confined to a wheelchair after the events of 9/11. He was a New York police officer in one of the towers during that unbelievable event and loss of humanity. You can see the weights here, 28, 32, 45, and 70 kilos. Tom was almost 60 years old.
One leg or whatever, and then bring it up. Right? Hand off. In the towers during 9/11. Get set. Ready? Come on, Tommy. Let's go. Let's go, Mark. You get there. Come on, Tommy, for the old guys. Let's get it. Down. Come on, Mark. Come on, Mark. Let's hear it, everybody. Come on.
There we go. And that's Mark Tonner of Great Britain there, shouldering with one arm, not using a harness. 32 kilograms, successful by Tommy. 32 kilograms. He's got it on his knee. Watch his technique here. He's going to lunge up, and he throws it to his shoulder and stabilizes. Beautiful by Mark Tonner of Great Britain. And Tommy gets the down signal there for the 100-pound, 99-pound sack. He's moving now to the 70-kilo rogue sack, 154 pounds. It's a big jump. Tommy's had enough. Good try. But he's got the harness going there, Mark does. And he's going to use the same technique that you saw Mike Deal employ, but he's losing it there, trying to stabilize it. Oh, he lost it.
Which side? Jeff.
Mark got 10 seconds left to get that strap, that shoulder strap around the sack. 99 pounds. Oh, not enough time.
No, you're good. Just do that.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, look at this tag team here. Canadian.
Who's the high flyer? Who's the power man?
Let me guess. I'm just
Oh, I'm being harassed by Jeff King and Marshall Innes right now. They're talking to me about their wrestling tag team here. I think Marshall's the high flyer, and Jeff is the power guy, right? At least.
boy, brother. Always pretty boy.
Always for you.
You're the pretty boy?
I'm the pretty boy.
This is the Canadian all-strength strongman series, right?
That's right. That's right. You want Canada to dominate.
Jeff
Right?
started his career, right?
Where Jeff started his career.
All right, now go in and show what you made of. Let's go here.
All right, Jeff. Jeff King, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, making his way. Here representing the seated Class 2. 28, 32,
She's in the right spot, buddy.
45, and 70 kilos.
Magnus, that yellow is 70 kilo, right? 70 kilo? It's a huge jump.
70 kilos. There's 45,
45, 70, 90, and 110. And that's for Davith Humphreys of South Wales, UK.
You good there? Jeff, back a little bit. Are you okay?
So we see those two additional weights of 90 and 110. Looks like the Ontarios are going ahead
The only Canadian athlete here.
with a farmer's walk.
Come on, David. Get those up there. Nice.
And Jeff's successful with the 32 kilos. Davith's got 198 pounds, easily stabilized it, and now he's going for the,
Come on, Jeff. Come on, Jeff.
wow. And Jeff is successful with the 99 pound, 100 pound, and now he's going for 154, and wow, Davith's successful. So Davith gets a 110 kilo sack, 242 pounds, and Jeff got the 70 kilo sack First man in the seated division to do so. Impressive. So behind us, you can see the Farmers Walk going now for the Amateur Ontario Provincial Championships. I believe it was Anna and Mason who just went. They need to get a head start here. We don't know how long the weather's going to last. Everything is very unpredictable here, if anyone from here knows. We often get temperature swings in the area of 60 degrees Celsius within 24 hours. That I've actually recorded that living here. And that's a lot. So they're right now with the lightweight men and women. I have to give my attention to the world's strongest disabled men and women here right now, but we'll be moving to the Farmers Walk. Apologies for those of you that are going now, and I'm not announcing on camera for the stream. Doesn't invalidate their performances at all.
So they've started the Farmers Walk over there already. It looks like, yeah, I think they're, yeah, so I can't, it's hard for me to go back. Okay? That was okay. Yep. Yeah, I did. Several times.
So that's Chantal and our Russian friend over there doing their Farmers Walk right now. Yeah, there seems to be a bit of controversy here for those of you that are watching. So Jeff did not lap the 70-kilo bag. He just pulled it to his shoulder, and it was made very clear in the rules meeting, very clear that it was necessary to lap the bag if you were in the seated divisions. And there's a reason for that, because they all want to have a unique starting, the same starting position, especially when you're in the seated division and your lower body's not supposed to be contributing. That being said, you know, pulling it from the platform to the shoulders is no easy feat as well. So I think what they're doing is discussing the actual rule there. You know, strictly speaking, the sack should have been lapped by all the competitors. So if they want to keep things as objective and fair as possible, then that should be the rule that's adhered to. So that's why the delay. So you can see the Farmers Walk going on in the background with the Amateur Ontario Provincials. And I'm going to ask Tony Vanderberg's opinion so far of the event today. Tony, you are the Canadian organizer of this fantastic world-class event. It's its 20th year of incarnation. Can you give us your comments on what you've been seeing and what you've been feeling?
Yeah, firstly, you know, as far as the organization goes, that's our team. We work really hard at this. These athletes are just world-class athletes, so we're trying to accommodate them with a world-class event. And as you can see today, Sam, that's what we have. Their performances are just absolutely incredible. And the nice thing is to have it sort of work in kind with the able-bodied athletes, so you can get some idea of just what their performances mean. You know, from the inspiration to the actual ability that they show. It gives us some more awareness of what they mean to the strength community and to athletics in general.
It's so wonderful. You have personal experience. You have a daughter who's disabled. You competed at a national world-class level as a freestyle wrestler in high school and in university. So if anybody knows a high-level athletics, and if anyone knows the challenges of being disabled, being the parent of a disabled daughter, I mean, it's you. And it's so wonderful that you're actually giving back in this way. And I know you don't want any kind of you know, you want to keep the limelight off yourself. Let's just put it that way, because you want the athletes to shine. And I think we got to give credit where it's due. And you poured your heart out over this. You've stayed in touch with me over the pandemic, and we've worked together in the past. And I can just say to the virtual crowd out there that your heart is as powerful as your double leg takedown.
Yeah, well, thanks for that. That's many, many years ago. But I'll just say, look, it's the athletes here that matter, and what's really important is garnering some more awareness of what it means to live with a disability, because it's a misnomer, in fact. Okay, we can represent them as disabled, but they are more able than all of us, and we need to, sport is that commonality that shows that and exemplifies their performance and their importance.
Thank you so much for your comments, Tony. We'll chat later. We've got Mac McLaren up next for the seated division, and Steve Moore from the U.S. Austin, beautiful. He just almost snatched that 100-pound sack. 154 goes up 155 very easily. Both men working very well, 28 to 32 kilograms. 45 kilograms up by Mac easily. We've got 90 kilograms. Matt just throws that up there, and the 70-kilogram sack is in the hands of Mac McLaren. He laps it, and he gets to his shoulder, and he gets it easily. And wow, Mac is done. All 4 sacks to shoulder in the seated division. And Steve has got that on his shoulder, and he's stable, and he gets a down signal. There you go. Wow. Both men completing all 4 sacks in their respective divisions. Fantastic. Mac, can we have a couple of words from you there? That was fantastic.
Thank you.
So, all 4 sacks completed. Did you have a little bit of trepidation with a 70-kilogram rogue sack?
No, I've never done the sacks to the shoulder, so it was completely new to me. I've worked at home at Bulk's gym with my coach Jay using a beer keg. So slightly bigger, so when it came to that one, the 90, when it came to the 90, it was roughly about the right size. So I had to practice for it.
But it wasn't as soft, and so you gave that away with a solid beer keg.
Yeah, definitely with a beer can is you have something to hold on to. With the sack, it's it instantly, the moment you try and grab it, just squeezes in, which makes the hold harder. Getting it to the shoulder was a bit of a fight. So yeah, but I'm happy with that.
Fantastic. Do you have a message for any fans, friends, family, sponsors back home in Scotland, correct?
Oh, yeah. Oh, too many. Certainly my girlfriend Claire, my family, Brenda, Jack and Sam, hell, even my cats. A special thanks to my coach and team, Jay and Amy Hughes from Bulk's Gym. So yeah, thanks to all them and the sponsors, the Explosive Ape, Team Affinity, and everybody here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mac, for sharing your passion. Your national pride is so obvious and so appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. I had to talk to Mac. Had to talk to him. Got to talk to Mac.
Max, we have some characters in the sport. And Mac is it. Him and Mike Deal, man. If we could have a show just with those two.
We could. We absolutely could. Maybe we'll have a drinking. Jeff King is going again. Thank you, Magnus. Thank you, Marshall. So there was some controversy regarding not lapping the last sack. So they're going to give him another chance. Jeff is...
Speaking of characters in the sport.
Yes. Jeff, just get over there, Jeff. No, you'll get a chance on the mic later. Oh.
Right now.
Get over here.
Come on.
All right. Everybody listens to Bruno, right, Bruno?
Luckily.
Except when you're snoring, right?
Oh, we have a problem there. I know.
I had to, Oscar. I had to. All right, Tony giving Jeff a pep talk. Looks like he'll give that 70 kilo another go. We've got Mike Bishop up next as well. Mike Bishop going to attack the 45, 70, 90, and 110 kilo sacks. That's 99 pounds, 155 pounds, 198, and 242. So once again, Jeff King of Canada is going. He's going a second time because he did not lap the last sack, the yellow sack, the 155-pound sack. He pulled it right to his shoulder. It was made very clear to the competitors that they have to pull from the lap when they're in the seated position. You can see Mike Bishop, who suffers from ataxia. You can see his body shaking. Easily cleans 100, 155. Here comes 198, easy to the shoulder. Look at that. Jeff's on there. Jeff's on his third sack, and now he's going for the 155. He's got to lap it first. 110 kilo, 242 pounds, up to Mike Bishop's shoulder. Beautiful. He gets it, and he casually dumps it. Jeff did get that last sack, and this time he got it. Legit, consistent with the rules. So we've got a time there. Pardon me for walking in front of the camera. And Jeff King gets all four in 28.17 seconds. And that is a very fast time. 26.24 seconds for Mike Bishop. Looks like that was the time to beat. Do we have anybody faster than Jeff King in his class? 22.42. So Mac is, I believe, the leader there. And that's right. Thank you very much,
Well done, Jeff.
Kat. Okay, well done. All right, looks like Billy's approaching. They're going to change the weight because he's a big dude. Tremendous upper body strength. We saw him lock out 286 pounds in the log clean and press in the seated division. Just missing 140 kilos or 308 pounds. Marshall, how you doing, buddy? It was a little cold this morning, eh?
It was, but it's nice now. Sun is shining, wind is blowing. I think perfect temperature for competing, brother. These guys are staying cool, yeah, but it's sun out, helping them warm up and stuff. Great competitions. Really impressed with Jeff here. I'm impressed with all the athletes, of course, but Jeff doing that a second time, shaved 2 seconds off his original time. Yes. That is freaking awesome. This is the last event for these athletes, and just once again, so impressed. I'm glad to be here for the Ontarios as well. But yeah, this disabled athlete, folks, like if you don't know about this, research this. There's videos on the way. Magnus is going to continue to do these worldwide. Folks, nothing more inspiring than these athletes and what they do.
So true, Marshall Ennis. Thank you. A legend in the sport here in Canada and in Europe. Given of himself for so many years, about 30 years now. About 30 years Marshall's been involved in strength athletics, and he's done some pretty crazy things. I remember him holding back motorcycles back in the day.
How's that possible when I'm only 28, brother?
How's that possible when you're only 28? Yeah, and I'm 26. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Marshall.
Come on, Billy.
We're so lucky to have people here like Marshall Ennis giving back. Celebrities in the sport made their mark in this world by lifting heavy weights and then training, coaching, promoting, helping others.
We're just advertising. Just showing off your ass. We're just advertising.
All right, Billy Petrinzik of New Jersey.
Ready? Come on, Billy.
Here comes. Boom, to the shoulder. It's 100 pounds. 154 pounds. Boom, to the shoulder. 198 pounds. Boom. Look at that. Now he's going to sit back up, stabilize. Nicely done. And 242 is up next.
Come on, Billy.
Notice I'm saying pounds for our American compatriots.
250 pounds. Come on. You got this. Come on, Billy.
110 kilos. He's going to try to use the... There you go. Oh, he's got enough. Now, in all fairness, Billy suffered an abdominal hernia last week. There's tremendous pressure on the abdomen doing this. It was a good job. Good job for him. Billy, how's that abdominal hernia holding out?
Well, with the belt, it's actually helped out tremendously, so I was able to get through the rest of the comp. I was a little nervous about this particular event because of the amount of core strength needed, but it held up well.
Can you tell us a little bit about your training program? I understand you train disabled athletes in New Jersey.
Yeah, we're starting to. I have a really good state rep down there for United States Strongman, so we're starting to get together to start doing,
No problem.
to start doing training clinics so more people can come in, learn what we do, and pass it on to other people. Because strongman in and of itself is one of those things where people get scared to do it because they see us at the top end of the spectrum. They go, I can't do that. And it's like, yes, you can. We all were worse off. We were all doing way less. And that's right, what Magnus said. You can do it anything we want.
That's it.
Put your mind to it and move it.
I'm sorry to catch you breathing so hard here, Billy, but do you have a website that you can promote right now?
I have Unbroken Rhino on Instagram.
Okay.
Same thing on Facebook.
Unbroken Rhino on Instagram. Thank you so much, Billy Petrinzik.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this, guys.
All right. Josh is up.
So he lost his leg actually at that time. Terry Fox and strong.
Yeah, so just talking to Tony, Josh Smith is like the Terry Fox of strongman. He lost his leg due to osteosarcoma, so that's bone cancer. And having worked in sports medicine, I can tell you when you see indications of that on an X-ray, it is scary. It's very scary. And often the only treatment is to amputate to save the rest of the body. So that's what Josh endured, and he's here with us today in the men's seated 1 category. Josh from Mississippi, I believe.
Mississippi.
Yep.
From Mississippi.
We've got a great contingent of, in addition to Canadians, Americans, and
Come on, Josh.
athletes from the United Kingdom, including Scotland. Easy, shouldering, 100 pounds, 155. Got to stabilize, got to stay upright.
You got the bag.
He's got it. Here comes the 200-pounder.
Come on, Josh.
Roll it up. Sitting back up, he manages to do that. There he goes. Here comes the last sack.
250. You got this. Come on.
110 kilograms.
Get yourself set. Get set. You've got time. Let's go. You get this. Come on. You've got time.
Balance. Balance is such a huge part of strength athletics. Big component of strength. Otherwise, everything would be done on a Smith machine, right? And it's not. He's almost got it. He's almost got it. Oh, what a try. What a good try. Fantastic. Fantastic, Josh. Yeah. He ended that with a smile. Very inspirational. That's right. He couldn't push off with his prosthetic. If you watch closely, and this is you know what it entails being in the seated division, is that lack of stability, that lack of function in the lower body. Now we've got Martin Ty. Speaking of which, Martin Ty, a man who survived shrapnel throughout his back and his legs. He was a soldier for the UK, serving in Afghanistan, hit by a suicide bomber.
Uh-oh, Becky's driving.
I was just about to be.
So it's a little story. A little story. Becky's been fantastic at helping out. She's been running the athletes here and there and taking them shopping and on trips. So she was driving, and of course you have to understand that this is the opposite side of the road for them. So she was so concerned about that and our rules here in Canada that as she got all of the things in the truck, in the SUV, she forgot to shut the hatch and lost a few things.
Aha! Did she lose your food?
I think it was Ty's food. That's why he's so svelte now.
Svelte, is he under 140 kilos now?
Yeah, he's under 140 kilos now.
All right, so we've lined up the bags here. 45, 70, 90, and 110 kilograms. You know, here in Canada, we strive to be bilingual, and I mean, you know, imperial and metric, not French and English. Although we do strive to be bilingual.
Come on, Ty. Come on. Make this happen.
Wow! He just... There you go. He threw so much force into that. There you go. 155. Yeah, that's right. Difficulty stabilizing with the legs. That's why we do it seated. Wow, look at that. He's got to push himself up. 200 pounds. Boom. There you go. Now here it comes. Remember, they're being lapped on each.
250 pounds. Come on, Martin Ty. Make this happen.
Here we go. He's just got to throw that up. And, you know, he's got to stabilize. He's got it. Look at that. Just the hand out. Boom. Congratulations, Martin Ty. Very fast. All four. All four. Damn, Martin, you almost threw that first sack over your shoulder.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that light, to be honest.
Well done. I'll let you get back in your chair.
Thank you.
Becca, how do you feel about that story, eh?
That's not even funny. He's not stopped talking about that for a week. For the next 3 years, probably.
You deserve some credit for all the work that you do, Becca.
don't poke the bear.
That's the bear. Marshall's the bear.
Yeah.
Hey, bear.
I'm a bear.
Got him speechless there. All right. So who do we have left now? Oh, David Walsh. So you had mentioned David Walsh's seated deadlift, Tony, and that was over 1,300 pounds, correct?
1,300 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah, he was 610 kilos. So David right now holds the world record for the seated deadlift. There's another athlete in Germany, but Tobias, who's just an incredible athlete too, did a 620 kilo deadlift, but not verified yet. So,
Okay. All right, so
case of calibration, right?
That's right. And so this all has to be verified and standardized when you're doing it on a regular bar and such, and perhaps they'll go head-to-head someday.
Oh, I hope so, because Tobias is just an amazing athlete, and the strength is incredible. He pulls that well over 600 kilo easily. Not that David doesn't, he certainly does too, but so they're two just incredibly talented, strong men, and it's wonderful to watch them compete.
Thank you, Tony, for that. And regardless, the pressure on especially the lower spine in getting that weight moving is just incredible. Okay, so Dave's up next here in the seated division. Easy, throws it up there. That's 99 pounds, 45 kilo.
Come on, Dave.
Losing his balance. There we go. 70 kilo. Here comes a 90 kilo. And rolls it up his body. There you go. Wow, that was brute strength. Here comes 110. He laps it. So big he can't even lock his fingers together. Now he's just got to pull himself up, stabilize. He's struggling. Look at that. He's inching it up. And he gets the down signal. There you go. That was very fast.
It's there, you can't help that.
All four in 29.49 seconds.
Habrá que sacar a Gloria. Ahora que se sabe de ti.
Dave, you're sitting there. I got to put the mic next to your mouth, man. Tell us how that felt in that event. You struggled a little bit. Pull yourself back up. What were you thinking?
Yeah, it was really tough. A lot tougher than I kind of thought it'd be. With a bench behind you, it kind of helps a little bit, but tough event, man.
Well, it helps. I mean, you can't really stabilize with your legs at all. You can't push.
Yeah, you saw I was going out of balance a little bit. It was out up and down, but happy with the way it went, and yeah, we'll see how that affects the scores.
Wonderful. We can't wait. All right, thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you. Can I just say my daughter's names? They got upset when I just said Reggie yesterday. So hello to Lily and Ava back at home. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dave. Anything else?
No, that's great.
Okay, wonderful. Good job, man.
Thanks, man.
Oscar. I haven't interviewed Oscar yet.
No, you got to get all-star.
I'm gonna catch him when he least expects it.
Oh my goodness, I gotta be ready for that.
Is it?
I really enjoyed that one.
You were awesome. You were awesome, and this setup is really...
Fitness. I like the ones where it's fitness and strength.
Peter, do you mind if I just have you say that on camera? You were talking about how much you enjoyed this event. Can you tell us? The camera's right over there. This is Pete Lynette, world-class disabled strongman.
Yeah, I love that event because I just like fitness and strength. You're not just relying on muscle strength, it's fitness as well, which counts for everything, really.
How's your Canadian experience been this time around? I know you've been back here a few times. I saw you about 3 years ago in Smith Falls, and now you're back. What's it been like?
It's great. I love the people. I love the events. You're treated like you should be at an athlete like this, as an athlete, yeah.
Well, you definitely are that, a world-class athlete. Now, Pete, how did your training cycle go for this event?
Well, you pretty much do. I play to my strengths, which is my shoulders and pushing exercises. But you know there's always going to be a deadlift or some sort of pull-in. So I try and work the muscles that you do in the events with. About 6 weeks in, and try and increase the weight every week. But what I've been doing, how we did the sledge, the truck pull, I've been doing it with a sledge in the gym, and I've been pulling it 15 metres, but it starts off at 140 metres, but every 5 metres, somebody throws 20 kilos on it. So the last 5 metres... Yeah, so in the last 5 metres, when you're really tired, you've got over 200 kilos on it. But that's the way I've been doing that with a shoulder press, with a sledge, everything I can, a rising bar.
Yeah, everything is rising bar, so that simulates, obviously the weight increasing here, but also fatigue, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. And like I say, the last 5 metres or so, that's when you're really, really pushing it.
That's when it counts. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about your individual challenges? Can you tell us something about yourself, please?
Yeah, well, I was born spina bifida. So the first, growing up, I was very inactive, put weight on, and just didn't bother with things. But at the age of 14, I thought, I've got to do something. So I started exercising with weights, and it just grew and grew there, and I just loved the bench press. Entered a couple of bench press competitions. In the 90s, I was in the Paralympic squad. I won the World Bench Press Championships 4 times.
Really? What was your best bench in what weight class?
I was in the 75 kilo class. I did 147.5 kilos. So I got as far as I could with that.
Wow.
And then turned to this. And I love it. Absolutely
Fantastic.
love it.
Do you have a message you want to say to your folks back home? Any sponsors, any family?
Yeah, I mean, I'd just like to thank everybody says it's an individual sport, but it's not, because you rely on your family to be behind you with the dieting and the training and your friends, and then of course your training partner. You couldn't do it without training partners, because you need them to get the weights for you, do this and do that for you. You just need a good team round you. It's not an individual sport at all.
Who are your training partners, and can you describe each one of them using only one word?
That is difficult. No, I can't. No, not without.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah.
All right, Peter. Anything else you'd like to add for our audience?
No, that's it. Thank you. It's just great to be here. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
It is an honor to have you here, Peter. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so it looks like we are done with our third and final event for the World's Strongest Disabled Man and Women contest here in Perth, Ontario, Canada, this sunny but windy June 18th, 2022. We're going to be collating the scores. I'm going to be talking to Tony and Magnus Ver Magnusson in a moment. Meanwhile, in the background, you can see the Amateur Ontario's Strongest Men and Women ongoing. They are still doing farmers walk, so they have a big number of competitors going right now, and they had to move ahead due to the time constraints here. We don't know what the weather holds. That's one of the joys of living around here, as I've mentioned multiple times. You can tell I'm jaded because I was without power for 11 days. That's why. And we lost power today too, actually, back home momentarily. Anyway, the athletes are proceeding well. The Farmers Walk is a classic strongman event. It's fantastic for reinforcing movement patterns, the primitive movement patterns of walking. And so we are going to take a break, and we will get back to you shortly. I want to thank Sean back in the studio, Sheldon on camera again, Aislinn in the van, and Kat running back and forth, scorekeeping, and Marshall Ennis, a legend here in the sport, helping out again today. Thank you, Marshall, so much. And, of course, Magnus Ver Magnusson and the Icelandic team. It's wonderful to be here working with you all, and I'm Dr. Sam Dubé. We will be right back with more world-class competitors here with the Ontario Provincial Strongman Championships at the amateur level. Thank you, and we'll be back.
Diesel New Zealand Whey Protein Isolate is a 90% pure protein source with 0 grams of carbohydrates and 0 grams of fat. It's sweetened exclusively with natural stevia extract, uses only natural flavors, and has no artificial colors or dyes. Diesel carries the official New Zealand dairy logo. Diesel is independently third-party tested for WADA banned substances by informed choice. Diesel, everything a protein should be.
Rob, where did all these vehicles come from? We rang the bell, but the factory answered. We need to call in some help. Rob, how did you get four-time world's strongest man, Magnus Ver Magnusson? Town and country has the strongest connections.
I came all the way from Iceland to move some metal.
Just a quick trip to Smith Falls, eh, Magnus?
Place where the inventory is. When will you be visiting Town and Country Chrysler?